Back on Game Time, you know, Dwight Howard's back surgery prevented him from being a part of the Olympics with Team USA, but once again, he threatens to overshadow what's happening in London thanks to a four-team proposed deal that reportedly would send Howard to the L.A. Lakers. Here are the details, as first reported by Yahoo Sports. Howard to L.A. The Lakers would send both Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum packing, respectively, for Orlando and Philadelphia. The 76ers, in turn, would ship Andre Iguodala to the Denver Nuggets, who would send Al Harrington to the L.A. Lakers. Got all that? Subject to change, obviously, and there could be draft picks and cash and who knows what else potentially involved. And that's where we bring in David Aldridge, once again with us from London. DA, you've seen the reports out there. You've talked to your people. What is the likelihood, as you understand it right now, of Howard winding up with the Lakers in a deal that resembles something like what we just saw?
Well, what I was told on Thursday was that there's a chance that this could happen. Obviously, with this many teams and this many moving parts, there's always a chance that the thing falls apart because it just takes one team to say no. I mean, look, on Monday I had heard some rumblings about a big blockbuster deal, but I was told by one of the key people involved in the deal that this probably is not going to happen because there's two teams that are not interested in doing the deal right now. Obviously, this was the Howard deal, as we found out. And those two teams apparently are at least to the point where they'd be willing to talk about it. So it is being talked about. It does not mean it's going to happen, but this, unlike some of the other kind of rumors that you heard, this one is legitimate. I mean, this one is a legitimate discussion about an actual trade, and those parameters that you saw are the parameters that are being discussed at the moment.
DA, obviously we know as Dwight Howard is the mainstay in this trade. Is there anything out there that you've heard where Dwight wants to go? Because I think that still comes down to, do you make a trade for a guy who might not want to come to your team, might not sign the extension? Is there any talk about or anything you've heard that he wants to go to the Lakers?
Well, again, Smitty, I mean, all we've heard all this time is Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn. But at some point, you know, it's not going to be, you know, they can't deal with Dwight anymore. Orlando's got to make this thing go away. And so I think if the Lakers express a desire to take a chance with Dwight Howard, you know, being there and trying to convince him to sign an extension, I think that they're probably going to be willing to do that now. I mean, this is to the point where if you're going to be, you know, serious about contending for a championship, you know, your team's got to be together. I mean, you can't have this speculation about Gasol's going or Bynum's going. I mean, you've got to know what your team is going forward. And so I think that the Lakers probably are willing to take that chance, even though they don't have any assurances from Howard's camp that he'll stay there.
Well, lesser risk, but the same question for the 76ers picking up Andrew Bynum, who still doesn't have his extension. Any sense of what his interest is in signing long-term in Philly?
Well, that's one of the things we're going to try and find out in the next couple of days is whether, you know, that's something that he'd be interested in doing. Now, my guess is I don't think Andrew Bynum is nearly as adamant about potential places as Dwight Howard's been. I mean, I think Andrew Bynum would be much more willing to stay in a place if they legitimately want him and they pay him what he thinks he's worth. I think that he would stay there. So I haven't gotten, you know, confirmation on this, but I get this. I don't get the sense that Andrew Bynum is going to say, I don't want to sign in Philly. I'm not going to sign an extension in Philly. Now, that's different from saying I want to become a free agent. You guys know, you understand the difference. I mean, this is just a matter of getting more money. You know, if you become a free agent and sign as opposed to signing an extension with the team that you're with. So the same is going to happen with Dwight Howard. You know, by becoming a free agent, he has a chance to get more money with the team that he's with at the time. So I would suspect both of those guys will be free agents on July 1st of next year.
DA, when we were talking about Dwight, I think we keep hearing about the trade, but I would love from your perspective, have you heard anything about Dwight's back situation? How healthy is the big fella, Dwight?
Smitty, I think he's, you know, the rehab's going well. I would not ever say that he's definitely going to be back and ready the first day of training camp because we just don't know. I don't think we're going to know for a few more weeks whether he's going to be green-lighted. Obviously, it depends on where he is and what the doctors on his new team, assuming he's on a new team, say about his back. They're going to have to take a look at it. So But what I've heard is that it's coming along well. He's doing some things. So I wouldn't sit here and say he's definitely going to be back for camp. And I think that's going to depend really on where he winds up because, as you know, different teams have different standards for what they consider a guy being ready for training camp.
Another storyline for you to cover over there in London, and Andre Iguodala and Pau Gasol now get to answer a whole new set of questions at the Olympics. DA, appreciate it.
You're welcome.